Tony, you watching this?
Tony, hey. Hey.
We're funny. It's exactly 12:03. It's time to get started. Couldn't start any earlier.
We couldn't, and we gonged in together holding hands. That night did.
It was weird.
It was weird, and your hands was actually really sweaty.
Yeah.
Which is gross.
I haven't done this in a while.
Are you nervous?
A little bit.
Yeah, like, all right, so here we are. We are now at the helm. So we gonged in together. We're excited to be here. If you don't know him, which I'm sure many of you don't, right? Raise your hand if you don't know him. Scott Claus, okay? Not like Santa Claus. K-L-A.
It sounds like it. It's not spelled like it, yeah.
Clarification. And you guys all know me,
No
right?
relation.
No relation. Mhm.
Or is it? When I
It's-
taught elementary school, I damn played that to my advantage around this time of year.
It's not. It's not.
Okay.
And everybody knows me, Tina Reddick. So we're just want to start off by just kind of like, obviously, we've had a transition in the office, so we just want to talk a little bit about that, answer any questions you have. So I will let Scott take the charge. Go ahead.
Oh, awesome. And I will leave.
So I'm had the pleasure of
Helping to start this office, helping to found it. We had 3 members originally, and we left a brokerage down the road, kind of like Jerry Maguire. It was pretty fun. And we just said, who's coming with us? And then some people did. And now we have 150-ish. So it's been really exciting. And I stepped down from operating principal running the office to help just focus on my team and just focus at life. However, in this transition time, I am here to help with recruiting for sure. I'm also here to help with agent consultation. So if you guys are angry, go to Tina. If you're angry, we'll take, we want to make sure you're supported. We want to make sure you're happy. If you're looking to grow your business, you have questions, like, help me out. I'm more of a book me type of role. I'm not like, hey, I'm a 9 to 5, if that makes sense, right? So Tina is going to be continuing on her role that she left for a day.
Not even.
Not
Yeah.
even.
That's the best going away party though, guys, I have to tell you. Thank you
She just,
for
she
that.
just wanted a cake.
Yeah,
So
it was biggest joke on you guys, huh? You guys want cake and ice cream, just say that you're leaving and then you.
So Tina will be here to,
So I am day-to-day operations. I'll be taking recruiting appointments, still teaching Achieve, the homegrown capper, just with the girls, with Michelle and Brooke, thankfully. They are the ones who really run this office, so I will just be riding their coattails for the time being. So anything you need, don't hesitate to come to either Scott or myself, and we'll lead you in the right direction, or we'll handle it as best we can. So, any questions
comments.
or comments, concerns?
Who are you?
Tony Jean Greco, minor rails here.
Okay, thank you.
So if we do have a potential referral, somebody who's interested in learning more about KW or the office, should we do an introduction to both of you guys and you kind of determine who should take the lead, or is there one primary point of contact and then that person would be connected based on the initial
If
conversation?
they're over 6 feet tall, send them to me.
Perfect, yes.
No, if they're, if they're newly licensed or not that much in production, for sure, send them to Tina first. If it's a producing agent, include us both.
Perfect, thank you.
Yeah. When in doubt, you can just include us both.
Yes.
We'll kind of take it from there, so.
Any other questions?
Okay, well, that was
Fun.
easy. That was easy.
Well, you can always like text us or, come up to us privately if you don't want to share it in front of a big group. So, cool.
Cool.
Thank you. All right, if you guys know of anyone that is, would be a good fit in terms of, running the office helping, I mean, a big part of this role is to grow, you know, because if you're not growing, then you're pretty much dying. And so it's really growth and it's helping, it's growth through agent count and it's growth through agent production. So we want to grow your production when you're here and we want to get you here to grow your production. If that makes sense. So we are looking for that perfect person. And so if you know of anyone, send them to me, send them to Tina. Charlie will be really involved too. He is on vacation right now. These are always really well planned. He's doing a trip to Italy next week with his family and everything. So between the three of us, we will hold down the fort. And Charlie, you'll actually be seeing more of him. He'll be officing more out of Diana's old office to help support. We'll have a lot of support, a lot of arms to. Kathleen is big too here. She's doing everything. I don't even know all she does. I think she might be part of the mafia, but she does a lot for us. So, and then we have Defender Dawn in case you're feeling unsafe or you need help with compliance. She's here. So you gotta live up to your title. So we've got, 7 or 8 people that will all help out tremendously. And I know James and Jay are here all the time. Tony's here all the time. Jeff Nevin's here all the time. A lot of people here to help with the charge. So, yes.
Hey, one thing I think it's like, I don't know, it's a bad rap, but I know we've talked to like lately and like over the last year especially, I know I haven't done as good of a job about spreading like the good things that are happening here to other agents. And I just wanted to kind of reframe it and like kind of say, more people working here is good for all of us. Like, it's not just about recruitment and profit share, like all that aside, like these signs and yards, more sales from KW is good for all of us. More opportunities to get one-party listings and learn new the greatest agents. That's good for all of us. And I'm definitely gonna be placing more of a priority on that going forward. So hopefully as an office, we can work together and obviously we have a great group, but to bring even more people into this awesome, just all grow together.
Yeah.
I love it.
Here.
I love it. It's like here wants to have a profitable real estate business. And who doesn't want to have a profitable real estate? No one wants to come in and say, hey, why are you in real estate? And you say, I'm here to make a profit, right? But without a profit, you're not in business. So it's very similar. And there's so much that I've been learning about the lawsuit and about all the changes that if we didn't have, 8:30 conversations and we didn't have, Dawn coming up and I know she's got some stuff planned today to keep ahead of it. I would feel so lost. And I promise you that not everyone has that. And so just from the sake of, if you're working with a client or if you're about to work with a seller, and if this is your mindset as an agent, I believe you'll thrive. But if you're about to work with a seller and your mindset is, man, I really hope they choose me, I don't want to leave it up to the 7,500 agents that they could pick. Isn't that a terrifying? Like, hey, if your friend doesn't use you, they could get, it's like Russian roulette on who they get. And man, the barrier in real estate is not that high, just to let everyone know. And so if your mindset is, I really want them to work with me because I care about them and I know I'll take good care of them, right? Does anyone have that mindset? I hope. Same thing here. That's how I believe about the company. It's like, I really want them to be here because I don't want to leave it to chance on what they may or may not be hearing. I'm sure you had conversations around the changes with agents and some people are like, huh, what's happening? So just keep that in mind. Part of this is our mission and our vision and our values, our beliefs and our perspectives. And I'm taking a class right now that really dives into, if you're leading a team or an organization of any kind and you don't have a mission and a vision, and you don't have values, it's really hard to get people to join you. It's really hard to get people to stay. But what's even harder? Trying to figure this out, like putting it into a sentence. It's super, super hard. And the mission for Keller Williams is to build careers worth having, business worth owning, lives worth living, experiences worth giving, and legacies worth leaving. And does anybody know an event that may have happened in the past week that could show what, a Keller Williams mission could really have a large impact on? So the hurricane. And, it's really hard to understand the magnitude of this company when you're local. If you haven't been to a mega camp or a family reunion, a major convention, but KW Cares is pledging, they're looking to raise $7 million for this hurricane. And it's insane what KW Cares does, in relation to just even like the Red Cross or other organizations. But I also wanted to put it into real life. And so it's really hard to understand what the hurricane has done when you look outside and it's amazing. You've got beautiful weather. We've got active roads. There's a team called the Johnson Property Group in Asheville, North Carolina. And they're one of the best people, one of the best groups, best teams that I've ever met. And their hometown just got decimated. So I want to just spend a couple of minutes to share what their journey is and what their life has been like for a little bit. I want to start with this because it's a funny little video before the hurricane.
Rain or shine, it doesn't matter. We're gonna sell your home here at Johnson Property Group. Welcome to Asheville during Hurricane Lee. It's a little bit wet, but you know what? It's fine. This property is great. We got a fire pit over here. Enjoy the fire with your family and dogs. Enjoy this. It's great. Fine. Come on down. We'll take the property we can install. Johnson Property Group. Here we go.
So that was before the hurricane, right? It's pretty funny, pretty creative. And then, the hurricane actually hit, and I don't think anybody really I don't think anyone really understood the impact that it was going to have. But I want to share what their last couple days have been like. First, this is a little TikTok that hopefully works.
I don't think y'all understand how bad it is in Southeast right now. We got counties that don't exist anymore. Jimmy Rock is gone. The city of Asheville is cut off from the world. This is not an exaggeration. All the bridges leading into the city have been washed away. They have no food, no power, no water, no internet, no cell service. They don't have radio. It's complete like that. So no one knows what's going on in there. I don't think I'm being dramatic when I say it's just a hurricane train level event. There was a woman in my town who called for an ambulance, and the ambulance got stranded. And then they were stranded for like 24 hours, and come out like the patient didn't make it. People are dying. They're still dying. I've been running the generator for the last 3 days, and starting to run gas, and this is on Highway 123 heading from Easley to Greenville. And this is the 1 mile long line to get gas, because they were the only people we knew around that had gas left. I got all the way to the end of our aisle, had gas. We checked every gas station in Pickens and Easley and Liberty, nothing. And I don't know what I'm gonna do when I run that gas station that much. Try to steal something from my car, maybe keep my food cold, but even then, I don't know. This is the I-40 bridge, from Tennessee to North Carolina, it's all no either. We have to get behind out here. Man, we need help. We need help.
And so I was just like looking at his page and what they're doing. So this is an agent that is not from that area, but they're organizing, they need to put it in perspective. I'm on a group chat with Chuck Johnson, the owner of this group, and we didn't hear from him for like 3 days. And it wasn't like he was too busy. It was, they didn't have cell service. Their roads were like gone. They couldn't get in and out of the town. They didn't have gas. They didn't have cell service. They didn't have power. So we're like, what is happening? Well, finally the internet is restored. And so people are starting to coordinate efforts, and they're bringing, whatever they can, but they're at the forefront of this. So this is their group here, and they're doing what they can. These are local people that they're helping, that they're giving food and gas to, and, all their food is perished because they don't have generators. They don't have anything. And so I thought this would be an interesting place to just put perspective in what is happening out in that area. And Chuck Johnson is Tucker's father-in-law. I won't show this video, but he's got a nice video of what they're doing. And if, you know, give anything, I gave directly to Chuck just instead of giving to KW Cares. That was just my like, I don't know, I just felt like it was, I know exactly where it's going. KW Cares is a great place to give to because they're not selling real estate. Every home they had listed is gone. They can't. You got like 2, 3 pendings, 8 pendings, 10 pendings overnight. You can't sell a house for 3 to 6 months, you know? So that's the situation that they're in. So if you do feel compelled, any little bit matters, they're just organizing efforts to give to people. So it's not, what if,
We actually have a client, that purchased in Nashville, closed this week, and like, she doesn't even know, like, if her house is even, she doesn't even know if the house is, like, she knows nothing.
Yeah.
They're, like, they have, all of their belongings are like on a truck somewhere, she doesn't know where, like, so it's just, you know, obviously that's a huge impact, but it also affects trying to help her navigate that.
you had a friend who has a second house in Nashville and he went to Google Map it and it said you can't get there.
Yeah, she showed me like there's a whole road thing that said roads that like are impassable and like they're just.
It's like every road.
Like you can't get anywhere.
Yeah, they have to, they're helicoptering in supplies to the town because they can't actually drive. So
Yeah.
it's only air traffic and it's all air traffic is closed to the public. It's only emergency services, air traffic.
So- Sometimes it's good to think outside your perspective. I mean, I know we all have things that are going wrong, but again, could your business survive not selling a home for 3 months or 4 months? It's just something to think about with going back to the profit and having a business worth owning. So that's what's happening now. And there's a big, massive effort of, you know, 170,000 KW people across the country looking to rush in and help as much as possible. It was interesting. I actually had the luxury when Hurricane, do you remember the hurricane?
Mega relief.
Irene or? Well, yeah, so what happened was every August, there's a convention in Austin. And hurricane just hit Houston like a week before. So instead of having the hurricane, the Austin Convention Center was housing refugees that didn't have homes. And so Mega Camp was canceled. And they said, instead of canceling it, you can still come out here, pay to come out here, and you can help like demuck, you can help the efforts of cleanup. And so KW organized this whole massive effort of all these different buses. They bust us out to neighborhoods. And when we got to the neighborhoods, I mean, it was they own nothing. I spent the whole day with Kim Rogney and a couple other people, but we took everything out of this person's house and we even have to rip the drywall out because the water was like up to here. And we had 2 piles. It was the pile they will keep and the pile they will throw away. Guess which pile was bigger? So they had a pile to keep that was like the size of this chair. And then they had everything else they had to throw away. It was really, really just in it was insane. So lucky we don't live, you know, down in those areas. And it just seems to be getting worse. I don't know. Just seems to be getting like every year there's something. So, all right. How do we like get out of this vibe? Sorry. Yay, welcome back.
Right back into it.
Yes, yeah, we are. We're gonna get out in it. So a lot of training and education, and keep in mind, the whole goal of this is to help you run a business, help you get profitable, and you can't do everything. So I'm gonna share a lot of stuff that we can do, and I want you guys to just sit and think, like, where are you at in your career? Where are you at with what you need? And pick and choose, right? Is that fair? Because if I'm in the crowd and I see all this, I start getting like, my heart starts beating, I start getting overwhelmed. So I want to do it all, but you just can't. So here is, we do have, I know this is hard to see. We have a brand new October calendar, which is, whose favorite month of the year is October? Okay, mine's not. I'm just sharing how to raise your hand. My daughter's favorite month is October. We have a lot on here, and I'm gonna highlight we're gonna highlight the most important stuff. This is something that we can actually do to help create, good, and you get to learn. So 2 weeks from today, instead of having a normal office meeting like this, we're having a watch party. And it's 11 to 2:30, and it's how to multiply your business. So on how to multiply your business, they're gonna talk listings, leads, leverage, right? It's not February, so we won't talk about love. So how to get more leads, how to get more leverage, and how to get more listings. And they have 3 separate panels, 3 separate things, and we'll have a lunch here. And is there a cost?
Our Market Center has donated to KW Cares to bring this event to you. And Lynn has graciously, offered to provide lunch for us.
Yeah, Liz.
So
Speech.
you're asking that what you would normally go and spend on a lunch for yourself on a normal day, whether that's $20, $50, or if you're Alex, probably $100.
Roasted.
To bring it here and donate to KW Cares that day. We can collect all those funds and then we can make a bigger donation, or you can give directly to KW Cares. That link will bring you to their site to donate. If you're unable to be here for the watch party, you can watch at home. Everything will be recorded as well. So if you want to watch it in another day or two, you can also do that. So, but our Market Center has donated to KW Cares for this relief fund, and we ask for everybody else to join us.
But please RSVP so I know how many people.
Yeah, Brooke sent out an invite, Google form today for you to RSVP so we can get a head count.
Cool. Now, I'm sure you guys have heard of this thing called Bold. So I know, raise your hand first of all, if you have agreed to come to the first step to Bold. Raise your hand if you've agreed to register for Bold. Okay, so look around, I mean, keep your hands up. You look around the room. That's a good group. Is that a yes, Tina, or are you just eating? Are you going to Bold? You are. Okay, so Bold, well, she went like this, but then I couldn't tell. Yeah, gotcha. It's efficient. So Bold is something that we can take, and we've been talking about it a ton, so I won't spend a lot of time on it. However, it's 7 weeks, it's completely rewritten, and it's something that I've personally taken, I think 8 times. 1, I'm a slow learner, but 2, every single year, it's a different instructor. Every single year, and I'm in a much different spot than I was the last year. And it's perfect timing right now. When you think about multiplying your business, taking Bold, business planning, if you wait until January, your whole first quarter is shot. And then when your first quarter's shot, you're like, next year, I'll do this next year. Cause it's really hard to catch up. Does anyone, did anyone get a flat tire recently? In like the last year? If you get a flat tire, what do? Change it? Does anybody else just like stab your other 3 tires and say, screw it? Has anyone ever done that?
Something to think about.
So that's typically what happens when you have a bad first quarter in real estate or in any sales. So this is to prepare you for that. The first day is free. We have a really, really awesome coach I'm excited for. And first time we're bringing in a woman. She's done a lot. Bold has really affected her life and her outlook. And what I'm really probably most excited for is that Phil Jones and Gary Keller have rewritten the whole class together. And Phil Jones is, if you don't know who he is, he's like the master of words, the master of what to say. And I believe this Bold will be much different than any other time. So hope to see you the first time, and more hope to see you the whole time. In between, thanks for laughing. You're Bold, by the way. Have I spit on you yet?
Not yet. Waiting for it.
So in between this, and again, a lot happening, but we're chunking this out. So this is, Bolt starts next Wednesday. And then by design, there's a week off. So the first Bold you go to, you have 2 weeks until the next one. The Wednesday in between, we flew in Shannon from France. She's actually here today. Shannon, do you want to come? Just kidding. She's not here. But she is going to be doing business planning. And so if you wait longer than mid-October-ish, early November to business plan, you're too late. And if you do go to Bold, this is free, right? And if you don't go, it's I wish I could read. It's $40 for non-Bold registrants. And it says lives in France. I'm really bad at grammar, but I caught that. Two things. If you want to pull out your phone, or if you don't, that's fine. But on the left, you have Bold scholarships. So if one of the main reasons why you don't want to take Bold is because you're not able to afford it, we have scholarships. We have applications, and the last thing we would want to do is have someone super hungry, super willing, super excited to take it, but they're not able to due to finances. So if you find yourself in that situation, please scan the left. If you are someone that said, man, I've taken Bold a couple times, I really know what it does, I really love what it's done for me, and I want to help that person who can't afford it right now, we are taking donations to help. So it's $7.99 to take the course. However, we've got, a payment plan up front, we've got scholarships, we've got donations. So hopefully the last thing that would be an excuse would be money. And now something fun. Yeah.
How do the donations work? Do they go towards the scholarships or towards the overall events to bring everyone's price down?
Scholarship. Yeah, that's a great question. Does that make sense? So instead of everyone paying $798, instead of $799, the donations go directly to the scholarship winners.
Is that a local fund? For
Yeah.
our
Local fund for us. Those are
How
great
is
questions.
Scholarships picked, like the application process.
I know how it was when I did it.
Same.
So, you pick, let's say there's 6. I mean, just think of it as like a college scholarship. You apply, you read it, you pick. I imagine if you take the time to put out an application and a scholarship, you're probably gonna get some help. And if we don't have money for the help, we'll probably find a way to find money for the help. So. Cool. So just one thing after the other here. Oh,
We need more cars.
oh,
Yeah, we need 15 cars.
Yes, Scott, you said you were gonna sign up for your,
Yeah,
right?
did you sign up, Scott?
talk to Katie. I wanna be there. So Jessica, are you running this?
No, I'm on the planning.
Can you come up here? Oh, please.
Come on. Woo!
And I have berries in my teeth because I had a smoothie.
Hey, I forecasted this.
Thank you guys for joining.
Can you tell them about trunk or treat?
All right, it's Saturday, October 19th. We're doing only 2 hours now. We had some stragglers come last year. How many cars do we have signed up?
Like 10?
So if we could have like 5 more, I think that would be perfect. Bring enough candy for everybody who's decorating their clients to come. Zach will be DJing. It's really fun. I had a good time last time. We'll have a fire pit. I think my mom's bringing some booze.
Yeah, I'm in.
For the best decorated vehicle.
Oh, that's us.
So, yeah, so that, that's motivation, so do that.
Who would this benefit? Who should sign up for this? Like, what do they get?
Candy?
No,
No.
okay. The agent, what would an agent get? What's the value to the agent for doing this?
We actually had someone come with their children last year who we haven't talked to in a few years. They saw our social media post and they're turning into a buyer. So it actually did turn into a potential sale.
If we had directional signs, people were coming from off the street, like there's a lot of people that come. So it's
Great touch points. It's, yeah, I was gonna say, it's a good touch. Like even if you don't get deals out of it, you're on people's minds.
Right, there's a smart plan already made for you by Kathleen and command. It's like, it's an easy button.
So here's the thing, real quick, your database is the most important. I really rely on that to not show like underneath my arms, and so I'm talking like this. But the number one thing we can do as agents is to provide value to our database. However, it's really hard to plan events if you're solo. It's expensive. You gotta plan a bunch. You gotta be super organized. So the vision of this office is to have 3 or 4 of these a year that you can just plug and play. So literally, you don't have to write the email. You don't have to know the social media posts. You don't have to know what to text. You don't have to know what to say. It's all done for you. And if you just say, hey, this is super exciting. My team's doing a booth or treat or a trunk or treat this year. I'd love to see you. It's just gonna be tons of fun. Halloween is my favorite holiday. Whatever you say to get them there. When they come here, they think the whole damn thing is like yours. Like you planned it all. You hired a DJ, everything. It's
People-
pretty awesome.
People do believe that because we had someone who thought that my dad owned like this whole entire. He's like, wow, you guys have a huge team.
Yeah.
No, it's just us 4.
Yes, we do.
It's the same thing with Pi Day, which we'll talk about soon, the Pi event, but it's like, you know who the biggest people that sign up for this? Do you think it's the solo agents or do you think it's the teams? The teams. And my thought was, this would be something for the solo agent, that you wouldn't need an admin, you wouldn't need any help. Even if you have 2 people that come, because the 2 main reasons why you don't do a client event would be cost too much money. I'm afraid no one will show up, right? And it would take too much time to plan. Well, if 2 people show up, they think you have 200, okay? No one knows who's who. They'll be impressed. You don't have to plan it. All you have to do is pay for some candy.
And speaking of that, we have awesome sponsors. Focus Title, A+ in Cream City, they're all donating. So we'll have some candy provided.
Yeah, so if money's a factor, don't worry, we got candy, so just come and show up. It's like $20 on Amazon to buy a little kit to do your car. I mean, that's a cheap, like.
And even if like you can't make the dates, like, just still send out the smart plan to your database, you know? You can tweak the verbiage in that email to be a little bit more like, you know, come to this event versus like, I'm hosting this event, like if you're not comfortable signing it because you won't be there. But it's, you know, it's all about those touches to your database. So even if you cannot join us for trunk or treat, still send the smart plan. Send it out. Cause even like, I know Michelle said once before, like, you know, with smaller kids, I would go to anything and everything that was free on the weekend. Give this to your database, they will appreciate it.
I was
Lisa?
gonna say, for all the events we've done that we piggybacked off of, you know, the market centers, our clients are so appreciative of us, like, giving back to them, whether we're giving them a pie or the e-recycling or trunk or treat. They just think it is so nice that we are doing something for them, you know, and that goes a long way. You know, especially if you want, you know, referrals from your past clients and that, they'll remember that. So it's worth your time, to do it.
100%.
Yeah.
The other thing that could be a concern, and you don't have to raise your hand if this is, but you could say, oh, with all these other realtors, you know, maybe they'll try to steal my clients. I mean, it's a thing. However, our culture is abundance, and we don't even talk about real estate at this. We just talk about their costumes, we throw them some candy, Lisa gives them Fireball, and like, we're set. So if you think that it's about that, it's really just about us all having fun and leveraging each other. Because we're really leveraging each other's influence, relationships, money, and time. And, you know, Zach is an amazing DJ. He actually does DJ professionally. So love to see you guys there doing more stuff like this. This is of all the value that KW provides, I think this is like towards the top of the list. These shared events. So really excited for that. We already talked about this.
Follow-up question.
Yeah.
You said that they need at least 15 cars to make this event happen. Is there a cutoff date or something? Because I'd like to do it and I'd like to advertise it, but I don't wanna have to, down the road, say, this event.
Oh, no, it's going on.
We're not gonna cancel.
Yeah, we're not gonna cancel it.
Okay,
If it's
I'm
just Michael,
just
we're
asking,
doing it.
You just said we need at least 15
I
cars.
would like, we work first, to make it bigger worthwhile for the kids that are coming.
I just wanted,
Yeah.
So after our spiel, does anyone wanna sign up for their car that hasn't already?
Yeah.
We will, we just haven't.
Strategically in the parking lot, and the kids, like, instead of going door to door in your neighborhood, they go car to car in the parking lot. So they'll bring their little stick eggs and stuff, so, yeah.
And they go car to car to car and then they're done and guess what they do? Go back. They keep going. And they are so happy about it. And then the parents are happy. Good question, because that's the last thing you'd want. So it's happening no matter what. There is something that you guys probably know of, but Jeff Nevin, who's doing a broker open right now on Mondays and Thursdays, he's doing conversations and objections, script practice. Does anyone go to this once in a while? Who attends this? So, I would like to do something bold, and the person that I'm about to ask doesn't know I'm asking this. But Nate, would you want to come up here? And would you want to be an agent? And I'm the client, and you do a script practice with me? Sure. Oh my God, I didn't think you'd say yes. Didn't know I was doing this. All right, so this is this is what script practice would look like. So he would do it, then I would do it, and we rotate who's the agent, who's the client. So I don't know idea what you're gonna say, but he's pretty confident in his conversation. So go ahead.
So I'm the agent?
You're the agent.
Okay, ring ring.
Hello?
Not actually feeling all that confident right now.
There's only like 40 people watching you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do. I feel physically.
Oh,
What is
let's
the
do a
scenario?
situation. What do you want? What you
Um,
pick? So when you do this, you get to pick the scenario.
Like an expired listing.
Expired?
Yeah.
So I'm an expired listing.
Ring ring.
Hello?
Hey, I'm not sure if you can help me. Do you happen to own the house over on 123 Fake Street?
I do.
Awesome, awesome. My name's Nate. I'm with the 1120 real estate team. I appreciate you taking my call. Noticed that your house fell off the market recently. Are you still open to accepting of top dollar offer in the next 30 days? What would stop you from accepting a top dollar offer in the next 30 days?
Honestly, I didn't even know that my home was off the market.
Yeah, it came on MLS and it says that it's expired. Your contract expired with your agent.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're technically not an active listing right now. You didn't know that?
No.
My goodness, I need to talk with your agent.
Yeah. So what does that all mean?
Well, it means that your listing contract has expired and your house hasn't sold.
Okay.
So you're gonna need to either pull your house off the market entirely and decide what you're gonna do, or re-up with your current agent, or find new representation.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I'm still looking to sell.
That's great, that's great. So it hasn't sold, it was on the market for 40 days and hasn't sold. Do you have any thoughts on why that is?
I mean, I just think we were reaching for price, with the market happening, and I just wanted, to see what I could get, but I haven't heard from my agent really since it was on the market.
Yeah, that was gonna be my next question. What's your agent had to say about it?
Not much.
Huh. you feel like, your agent has done enough to market your place and get the word out to?
I mean, he's my brother-in-law.
And, so working with family, that could be kind of a hairy thing. Are you a little worried about the relationship with him? Is this something that,
Yeah, I was a little worried about it up front, but yeah, now I'm, I'm just worried what it would do to the relationship.
sounds like maybe, what I would say to that. Thoughts?
Go for it, you got it.
Just pull,
Right
just,
where you-
just,
you got 'em where you
pull-
want 'em.
just pull it right in. Well, it sounds to me like our next step, would be, I don't know if I would go this just quickly, but, it sounds like our next step might be to sit down and have a, talk over, maybe we can get together over the. Sounds to me like our next step would be to schedule an appointment to go over the marketing strategy here, and potentially, based on venture.
That's okay. I loved it. Let's go. That was awesome. That was amazing. Who wants to go next? I cannot believe you said yes. So points about role playing is you're practicing with a pal and not on your paycheck. And so you don't know the scenario like that I'm gonna say. You're just trying to think on your feet. And if you're always thinking about what you're gonna say on an appointment, you're never truly listening. So you might think, I don't need a script, I don't do this. It's like, no, the whole point of it is to focus on what they're saying and truly hearing them. And so if you have a scenario that you're struggling with, it's your scenario. It's you trying to get someone to sign in an open house, trying to get a buyer to pay your commission up front. Fill in the blank. So role play doesn't have to be scary because, watching Nate and listening to Nate, I loved that he was able to just go through it. Even if it wasn't super confident, I bet if we did it tomorrow, he would be like, I'd say this, right? And he could just go. So it's really, really valuable. I'll tell you what script practice is not. It's not getting together and being like, oh my God, how was your weekend? I had this buyer that I wrote out his 4 competing offers and I didn't get it. And 15 minutes go by and you're like, okay, see ya. So really script practice is just you get into it. I go, you go, you're done. If you added that to your schedule. Now, believe it or not, the Packers do practice football every single day for hours a day. It may not have looked like it in the first half, the first 3 quarters, but they do practice. I promise you. Could you imagine them just what it would look like if they didn't practice? If they just every Sunday went and played? What we do on our listing appointments, that's something big. So I think this is the last thing I'm talking about, but it's fun. We are doing a holiday party. It's going to be with every KW office locally. It's December 5th. There's a star right there. That's a 5, right? December 5th. Doors open at 6. It's gonna be a big party, a big gala. A lot of today, almost all of today was really focused on KW culture and KW value. And so plugging into this stuff truly helps, truly matters. This is where we make relationships with each other. You make relationships to help script practice. You do all sorts of things and we have fun. Who here is going to attend this? Oh, yeah. Michelle.
So we always like to throw a theme out just to help people think about what to wear, but it is formal attire. So, it's at the Pfister, it's a little bougie, right? So that's kind of what we're going for. It does say black and white on there, but if you're wearing color, you'll be okay. It's just formal attire.
Okay.
Can I just add one thing to that date?
Yep.
If you're somebody adventurous, kind of a walker or whatever,
The same Kate we were last year is running a special through December 30th, $129 a night. So I don't know what the figure is, but this seems like less. I got an email a little while ago.
I just did something. I'm trying to.
Shipley, do you want to arm wrestle first?
You're going.
Okay. We're going arm wrestling?
Nope.
Okay. So Sarah sent out an email last Thursday. We've had a couple questions about it. It was labeled important compliance update. And so I just wanted to make sure that you guys have the scenario and when this comes into play and why it might be important. So just with your permission, yes, we can just run through. I've got a lot of slides because it helps me stay on track. So the scenario for this email that went out is the seller's offered to pay compensation. So let's say you took a 6% listing because you know your value, you're offering 2.4, the seller's decided to offer 2.4% as co-broke compensation in the offer to purchase. So 6%, 2.4, awesome. Then when you get an offer, instead of sending that co-broke compensation agreement, the buyer's agent wrote the compensation into the offer to purchase. So yeah, that's something that happens sometimes. So what does this, what's going on? So the thing that's a little bit tricky that we are discovering as we're in this new landscape of things is that the co-broke compensation agreement is an agreement between the seller and the listing firm saying, we're going to pay you 6% and you're going to offer part of that compensation to the buyer's agent. Whereas in the offer to purchase, it says the seller is paying. So we kind of have the seller in this scenario potentially paying more than once. So, the co-broke compensation agreement directs that listing brokerage to share versus the language in the offer is stating that the seller is paying the buyer's agent's firm directly. So this is where we kind of have a who is the seller actually paying? How is the buyer's agent going to get paid? So the ambiguity could leave the seller liable for double commissions. Would somebody actually go after the seller for double commissions? Probably not. But we are our listing clients fiduciaries, so we need to make sure that we're watching out for them. They could be potentially paying the full commission to the listing brokerage and payment directly to the buyer's firm, because they have that language in there twice that they've agreed to. So as a buyer's agent, best practice here, before listing agent, how they would prefer you're writing up the buyer agent compensation. If they say, hey, I'm going to send you this form, please don't write it into the offer to purchase. If they say, because that's not your role anyway. So as a buyer's agent, just communicate with the listing agent. As a buyer's agent, it's a problem if you don't know how their listing contract was filled out. So your role is just communicate with them, ask them what they prefer. But as a listing agent in that scenario, you should be providing, if your seller is going to be offering co-broke compensation in your listing agreement, you should be planning to provide that co-broke compensation agreement to buyers, agents. So if that's how you've written your listing agreement, if the seller has that listing agreement and the buyer's agent wrote the compensation in the offer to purchase instead, listing agent, if the offer's already been accepted, we're going to suggest an amendment. If the offer has not been accepted, you can write a counter offer and counter that out. Clean it up before it's accepted. But let's say that it's yes.
So just. We're writing a list, you say you have a listing contract.
Yep.
But if you put language in the listing contract from the beginning that would say this 2.4 compensation or whatever, something to the effect that your max payout by seller will be, this, and, just addressing it in advance, so you don't have to go, okay, now we have to do a.
Great question. And we're getting confirmation from our attorney to make sure that what language would be acceptable. So once we have that, we'll get it updated. But that's a great question. And a couple people have asked that too, that can we just write something into the listing agreement from the start?
Wouldn't the offer trump that?
Yeah.
but well, yes and no, so you could change in the event that you could have a scenario, in the event that offers accepted that includes co-broke buyer's firm's compensation, that total commission paid would be blank. So we're waiting
Yeah.
on confirmation.
If any offers have box 503, check, this will be
Yeah.
placed, whatever.
Because really, it would be the listing agent that would go after it, not the buyer agent.
Correct. Why would someone, realistically, is that gonna happen? But you never know. Let's protect our sellers from anything happening. So let's say in this scenario, the offer is already accepted. You had a 6% listing contract, you were offering co-broke compensation, someone wrote it into the offer to purchase, it's accepted. So best practice here is to amend the listing contract. And here's the language, to state that it's amended just for that offer to purchase that was between this buyer and this seller on this date. We're not amending it in general, just this one that's accepted. The commission on line 30 shall be just the listing agent's compensation. And then the scenario sometimes that like unforeseen. This renewal is due December 14th, and email your receipts for both to Sarah. So that's all I got.
Thank you.
Anyone, you get it. I think the first time I just got it, because when I read the email, I did it. And it was, so thank you. Last thing is, who has some coming soons, some new listings, new inventory? Super unique buyers, their needs, not the buyer themselves.
Condo in Greenfield, 2 bedroom, 2 bedroom, side by side, I think 49.9. Brand new carpet. So, small home at Hemlock, 2 bedroom, 1 bath, it's about a mile from the downtown area,
Cool. Tony?
Just actually had a listing strategy session yesterday with one of our forever clients. A family property being sold from the estate. Kind of a unique situation. It is a 2,500 square foot, 4-bed, 2.5 bath. Colonial, 2-car attached garage sitting on 5 acres in Lafayette, Elkhorn. Right, yeah, I'm looking at my Elkhorn. It has been neglected for quite a few years. Everything pretty much needs to be updated cosmetically. Mechanics are solid, roof is good, windows are okay, but it's like everything cosmetically needs to be updated. We're probably going to be listing somewhere around the 550-ish range. But they are willing to entertain very reasonable offers off market. They're gonna need a couple more weeks to get it cleared out and cleaned up before they'd entertain any private showings, but it's a great opportunity for someone that sees the opportunity for sweat equity. Someone who wants to get a great property with awesome acreage at a value and really do those updates and improvements themselves. So if you have any of those types of buyers, please let us know. We could put something together.
Landon Land.
And then
I'm just gonna say. Land